Absolutely. And I think, you kind of mentioned it in terms of getting better, improving. And one of the biggest things that comes from is expectation and what people think are going to be, what's going to happen in a season with a particular player. And
Mhm.
there's always expectations, there's always doubt. There's always going to be those players that need to show the world, that need to show the media, the fans, the coaches, the other players, the team, whatever, their girlfriend, I don't know, that they're that guy, that
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
they're where they're supposed to be. They need to be playing, more dominantly. They need to be, out there making more plays, getting more opportunities. So Joshua, I'm going to ask you this one simple question. Who is the most to prove for the Baltimore Ravens this season?
Man, it's one simple answer for me. Odafe Oweh. I know people are going to get on my case. I'm going to keep saying it. Listen, I didn't play with an African young male that did not know the game of football, and he got the highest of rankings, the highest D1 offers. He went to the U, ended up transferring over to UCLA, played left tackle. He did not make it to the NFL. And he was an athletic freak. He was 6'9" and 280 pounds of pure muscle. It was scary just being in the weight room in the weight room with him because he putting up crazy numbers at the age of 18 and hollering out kill every time he do a bench press. And I'm looking at him in the locker room. I said, well, damn, I'm going to go to the other side. Um, I get my 225 in, but he throwing 300. Put some more in his accent. I'm not trying to disrespect my African brothers and sisters, but he had a strong accent, and at the workouts he eating chicken chicken wings to the gristle McConnell. I'm talking about bone and all. But
Oh my
back to
gosh.
Odafe Oweh. Odafe Oweh, what is it now? Technically 5 years of playing organized football. We hear it. He's an athletic freak. He has the level of development. Now, I even got chastised on Twitter, when they talked about him being the first round pick. And when I said, honestly, he should have been a third round pick. But, the Ravens saw something in him. He has had flashy moments, but he has not been consistent with the flashiest of moments. He has not had the, can I say he did not have a mentor, so to speak? I guess we can. He didn't have a Terrell Suggs again. He has a Justin Houston on the back end, but even with all, it seems like even with Yoda, it's still what was being said. It still didn't translate to the field all the time. Now you have his buddy David Ojabo that he played high school football with, back in the fray. I've been hearing good things about them, working out together, getting right, Um, even Adafe's taking a leadership role in coaching up Mr. Robinson. I forgot his first name, uh, from Ole Miss. Um,
Tavius.
Tavius, yes, thank you. Um, but with all the learning and tutelage, and even with the film watching, you still had to put that out on the field. I saw somebody recently said, "Oh, is Odafe Oweh going to be a 10 plus sack guy?" Newsflash, y'all, at Penn State, he wasn't a 10 plus sack guy. Um,
He wasn't a one sack guy.
that too. So you're asking a guy to go from creating disruption and helping his other teammates eat to now be a big sack leader. Now, me personally, I'm not expecting him to be a 10 plus sack guy, but I am expecting him to do what he did at Penn State, is be violent at the first line of attack, give these right tackles a run for your money, bench press the hell out these right tackles, these right guards, wherever you're lined up at, Odafe, bench press them. Go crazy. I do not want to see Patrick Mahomes outrun you. You ran at least a 4.344 at 260, 70 pounds. And when you see guys run that fast, that's scary sight. When I saw Chase Young chase down Saquon Barkley, and Saquon Barkley is supposed to be one of our best running backs in the NFL, I said, well, God dang. He took the best pursuit angle. I'll never forget that. So, And this is his third year. This is his third year. And, we usually see some of our developmental guys come alive in the third year, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Just like, one guy, for example, that's still part of the team. I think a lot of people thought Tim Williams was going to be better than Tyus Bowser. Who's still on the team without him? Who's still on the team? Tyus. Tyus has been instrumental piece. When he's on the field, he's healthy because he's such a Swiss Army knife. He can put his hand in the ground. He can play back in coverage. He can even get you an interception here and there. He can get you a sack, cause a little disruption. So I'm not saying Odafe has to be that type of guy, but if your hand is on the ground, I need you constantly giving a right tackle, a right guard, left tackle, whoever it is, whoever's lined up in front of you, I need you to give them help. Let them know that you're there and you're going to be there all damn night.
I think that's a really good answer. I think he would have been in my top two. He would have been in my top two because I think not necessarily does he need to prove himself as a dominant player. I don't think that's necessarily the case, but more that like the Ravens don't need to go find somebody else. If he can show enough to where the Ravens go, all right, we're good next year with you, Robinson, and Ojabo, I'd be happy. Now, if he struggles again, and not struggle, but plays to the level that he has the last 2 years, where it's just like, okay, he's fine. I think the Ravens are probably going to have to look somewhere. Maybe it's the draft, maybe it's free agency, maybe it's the trade market, maybe it's on their own team for somebody that can take that next step. And Odafe, again, who I like, I didn't expect him to be very good initially. I felt like he was a project player. I feel like has gotten better throughout his career, but hasn't been drastic. And now he doesn't have to be the number one pass rusher. I feel like we say that every year. And then we still expect him to be our number one pass rusher. But we haven't signed Justin Houston. We haven't signed anybody. And it's like, all right, dude, it's your time to step up. For sure. This is your chance. Because if you don't, we're going to have to go find somebody else that can play there consistently or at least rotate in with you, to try and help this team get some pass rush. My answer would be a player that has never played for the Baltimore Ravens. That would be Mr. Odell Beckham Jr. Because this man, the disrespect has been absolutely crazy. Now, I'm going to go on record right now and say when Odell Beckham Jr. was playing in those early days with the Giants, I felt like he was overrated. I think a lot of people looked at him and there were people talking the best wide receiver in the NFL, putting him with that Antonio Brown, that Julio Jones type of room. And I was like, okay, he's not that. Is he top 10? Absolutely. I think he's an absolute stud. He's a superstar wide receiver. So I felt like he was a little bit overrated. Then he went to Cleveland and it was like, okay, he's decent. He's putting up decent numbers, but nobody was really talking about him because Cleveland honestly sucked. Goes to the Rams, and everyone, I swear, every time I saw a ranking, it was like, I was like, y'all are putting Odell that low? Like, I think he's better than that. And he plays for the Rams. Everyone's like, oh, man, he's struggling. And it was like, dude, it's his first time playing in this offense. Give him some time. Gets into the playoffs. Dominates the postseason. Cooper Kupp had one of the greatest, if not the greatest, single season a wide receiver has ever had. And the best wide receiver on that team in the playoffs was not Cooper Kupp. It was Odell. He was monstrous. And Matthew Stafford could go to him, and he was catching touchdowns, and he was playing great football. Then he finds out that he had a major injury and then aggravated it even more in the Super Bowl, got rushed out. I want to say he scored the first touchdown. He did score the first touchdown.
Yeah.
Because I bet on it. That's how I remember that. I had Odell first touchdown, then I had T. Higgins first Bengals touchdown, I believe is how I had it, which I'm pretty sure both hit. So shout out to that. But right after he got injured, it was like he's had a great postseason run. And it was like, yeah, he's hurt. And they didn't play last year. It was like everyone completely forgot that he was playing on the Browns injured, played on the Rams injured, and looked really good in the Rams because he had a quarterback and he had an offense. And when he was playing on the Browns, he didn't have an offense. That was Freddie Kitchens. That was not the Todd Monken offense. That was the Freddie Kitchens offense, which, if anybody knows this, if you want to know one thing about the NFL, you want to know one thing about the Cleveland Browns, Freddie Kitchens sucks. You want to know one thing about the Steelers, Matt Canada sucks. But we love that Matt Canada sucks because he coaches the Steelers, and I love to see that trash offense every 2 weeks that the Ravens do end up playing them. But now Odell comes to the Ravens, and like everyone's like, I'm not expecting him to be a superstar. I don't need him to be a superstar. He just needs to be a solid wide receiver, which I do think he is. I think he is going to be a top 20 wide receiver in the NFL. And I see a lot of people that think he's like, not that he's not good, that he's bad and he can't play anymore. And it's like, hey, he's young. And the last time we saw him on the field, he was dominating the postseason. And why is all of a sudden everybody thinking he's bad? Oh, well, he missed a full year. Why is that not a good thing?
I want to bring this up real quick. Another guy that missed a full year of football, even though he had to get regulated to the NFL football, after he got regulated, he started doing the damn thing, yes or no, and he's in the AFC North playing with a little cousin, Cincinnati Bengals. I'm just bringing up another LSU guy, that's a dominant wide receiver. I'm just saying.
Like, you can sit out a year. It's not like he had like, you can come back from his injury.
Mm-hmm.
It's one thing if you have an Alex Smith type of injury and it's like, oh man, he hasn't played in a while. How is he going to be? No, the Ravens watched him work out. Teams watched him work out. And the reports from the workout, not from Ravens reporters, from NFL reporters, was this: Odell looks pretty darn good. He looks healthy. He's not rookie Odell, but he looks healthy. And healthy Odell's best attribute isn't his route running. It's not his speed. It's not his athleticism. It's his hands. What have we been needing? A red zone guy, a third down guy, a guy that can make the tough catches. It's exactly what we got. And everybody just talks about the Ravens receiving core, and they're like, yeah, they got Odell. They're like, I don't think Odell's that good. Odell may not be elite, but he's exactly what the Ravens needed.
I mean, I love that. I love that you bring that up. I mean, we've been saying this. I don't know how many episodes we've done on wide receivers. If we ever go back and look, it's up there. It's a strong number.
Yeah.
But I believe in just about almost every episode, we do bring up the point that Lamar Jackson did not have what Joe Flacco had. Joe Flacco had safety nets. He had Anquan Bolden. He had Derek Mason. He even had Steve Smith. He had guys that had reliable hands. Lamar Jackson has never experienced that. I mean, if people want to argue Mark Andrews, I can't argue. I'm not going to say I can't listen to your argument, but I can't respect it for the simple fact that Mark Andrews had to grow into who he is today. Because when Mark Andrews first started, yes, he did hit the ground running when Hayden Hurst went down, but he still had moments where, he wasn't a top 10. He was just breaking it. But now we can argue now that he's top 5, tight end. But at the end of the day, he still needs someone else on the outside numbers to get the ball too. And Lamar has not had a reliable wide receiver. I feel like Odell Beckham can now be with Anquan Bolden, Derek Mason, Steve Smith Sr. I'm probably missing a couple other names of older prime wide receivers that Joe Flacco had. But now he can be that for Lamar Jackson. And, now you're going to have also a wide receiver that's been to the Pro Bowl, that's been to the Super Bowl, that knows what it takes to get over top of a good DB, or make those better route runs. Bateman and Zay Flowers now, Nelson Aguilar can help with the mentoring as well, but Bateman and Zay Flowers, I feel like are going to respect what's coming out of Odell Beckham's mouth even more. And we're
Mhm.
not, and like you said, we're not asking Odell to, to just go out there and do what he did with Eli Manning, catch the ball with one hand, or just try to field punts or kick returns. No, we're not asking Odell to do that. No, we're asking for Odell to move the chains. We're asking for Odell to be a part of the offense. To be utilized in the offensive scheme and not just be a body standing out there when the corner is 10, 20 yards off of him and we're not even feeding the ball like we did Dez Bryant. No, we're not asking for that. You know, we're asking for him to be a leader, to catch the ball, get us yards, get us touchdowns. When you do get a first down, get your touchdowns, show that aggression, get your the Baltimore two-step on, get your park height strut on, and just show out and have fun, man. I like that. I like that. I definitely feel like on the offensive side of the ball, he is one guy that has a lot to prove this year because people are counting him out. But when you get a guy that's healthy, when you get a guy that knows his game, man, sky's the limit. Especially if he's in a great system.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting to see how the media reacts to Odell, how Ravens fans react to Odell, how Ravens team players,
Mm-hmm.
how they all react to him, because how Odell reacts to it. He hasn't played in a little bit. He's going to talk about it. They're going to ask him, "Hey Odell, how you feeling after this week?" Every week,
Mm-hmm.
like feeling good. He'd be like, "Yep." I'm like, "Okay, we're gonna ask you next week, but okay."
It most definitely is.
That's how the media is. They always ask the same questions. But Joshua, is there anything else you want to talk about in this episode at all?
Oh man, no, not really. I don't know if you heard that. I forgot. Is somebody actually trying to do what? Oh, we'll talk about it off. We'll talk about it off camera. But everybody, it's Hump Day. Make sure Friday night, Saturday night. Make sure you get your crabs, whatever city, country you all listen to. And get your good food, get your drinks, get ready for Game 3 tonight. I'm hoping Miami pulls it out. I'm sorry, I got to rap with Miami. I didn't want to root for nobody, but yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Jimmy because Jimmy got that dog in him. But y'all have a good night, man. Enjoy yourselves. Make sure y'all liking up, subbing, sharing, subscribing. And man, we thank y'all for always listening and tuning into us, man.